Oh, especially on a day like today. It's so nice out. You got to take the dog out for a walk.
And part of the job, of course, is picking up after your dogs. No, I don't either. But I want to thank all of you who actually do that, and then you take it and you throw it away in your own trash cans.
Those who don't are a menace to society.
Yeah, but some of you actually take it even further for the environment, investing in those eco-friendly bags.
However, in this week's installment of Our Changing Climate, our Natalie Ferrari has some news to share that might surprise you. It surprised me, Natalie.
Yeah, you mentioned the trash cans there. Well, here's the deal. A lot of those doggy bags that are being marketed as eco-friendly or biodegradable, it turns out your purchase may actually not be helping out the environment as much as you think.
That's a lot of plastic you're throwing away.
When it comes to using plastic, the U.S. takes the lead in generating the most plastic trash out of any other country on the planet. And while a small change in our everyday lives can make a difference, some companies are banking on your good intentions. One example of that is with those little dog waste bags. According to the Federal Trade Commission, over a dozen creators and marketers of dog waste bags were notified that their so-called biodegradable products may have been misleading to consumers.
Some dog bags like that are labeled biodegradable actually are not biodegradable. They can be falsely labeled. So unfortunately, it does kind of get the consumer that wants to do something good and tries to unfortunately be kind of duped into buying a bag that isn't biodegradable.
When a product claims it's biodegradable, it's telling the consumer it will completely break down into its natural components within 1 year after disposal. However, most bags take significantly longer to break down, while some may not even break down at all. And the problem only gets worse when these waste bags end up in our landfills.
A lot of the plastics in the landfills take anywhere from 10 to 1,000 years to decompose, and so obviously that's taking a lot of our landfill space.
Some biodegradable plastics need oxygen to break down, but if they end up in our landfills, it can get mixed in and compressed with other trash, never allowing it to completely deteriorate.
The ASTM label on the actual the box will help consumers actually make sure they're buying a biodegradable bag instead of a falsely advertised bag.
So why is this a problem? Well, both creating and disposing of plastics generate greenhouse gases, which are heat-trapping gases that warm up our atmosphere. So if these biodegradable materials aren't breaking down or do so at a significantly slower rate, this further contributes to the impact on our food, our water, and our atmosphere.
So if you're a dog parent like me, you're probably asking yourself, well, what can I do to pick up after my best friend while staying eco-friendly?
One option, use a dog waste only composting bin. While this should never be used for growing food or edible plants, it can be great for a decorative garden.
It's not like cow fertilizer. Dogs eat, our man-made food, which is going to have a different nutrient makeup. So we want to make sure we're composting it correctly.
You could also transport the waste to an industrial composting facility that accepts pet waste, if the option is available in your area. Or simply, you can just flush it. In fact, the Environmental Protection Agency recommends it. You'll just want to check with your city's sewage guidelines and never flush pet waste into a septic tank. But if you want to completely cut out plastic bags, using a handheld scoop or shovel to transfer the dog waste from the ground to a composting bin or toilet would be the most earth-friendly option.
Just making sure to pick up after your pet. I mean, it's going to do a lot more damage sitting there as pet waste. Not only does it smell bad and your neighbor's probably going to give you a really mean, dirty look, but it's also not good for us, and it's not good for our waterways either.
But
well, crap,
yeah.
It's...
Just one?
Oh, man. Okay, well, I'm glad to know that there are options. Also, not to spend all that money on those things.
But
the reality is,
toilet.
you know what, look, there are a lot of people...
In a little pooper scooper.
Stop it. No. Oh, my God. No, I am not bringing that in my house.
I'm not going to lie. I have rethought about everything I do at home normally because of this story.
Well,
and I put it together.
I think that a lot of people, and maybe I'm wrong, but what I do, I use we have the plastic bags from Publix, and that's what I use, and I feel like, well, I'm recycling it.
The plastic that's already been used.
Yeah, I mean, I get the point.
Putting it in the landfills is so misleading. It actually should not be going there in those just willy-nilly trash cans.